to you, Taurus, you actually have the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and then you have the Ace of Swords. So to piggyback off of what it is I was talking about in the last Taurus reading, about how to kind of be able to kind of know the differences between a good option and stuff like this, we may have to get into that. Just depends. So the Page of Pentacles here represents thinking about what matters to you, right? What's precious to you, and basically, yeah, living that way. Taurus is about things that are valuable. Remember what it is that I said, that Taurus accumulates wealth. The second house, which Taurus naturally rules over, y'all, rules, excuse me, the accumulation of wealth. And then the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords here represents you're not looking for anyone to beef with, pretty much. You're looking for people to build with if anyone has that kind of special something within them anyway. And I've talked about this before. Like, what do you mean when I say, like, what do I mean when I say special something? I mean, well, there's a lot of things that happen with this, right? If they have the ability to not try to make mountains out of molehills. To be honest with you, Taurus, a lot of people are really lying about their disposition, and they're really trying to pick fights. They're really trying to get into like disagreements with you, and it's not really necessary. And they're doing it for fun. But this same is, again, well, when they're talking about they want generational wealth and all of that, how can a generation be built when you have parents who argue like this, who bicker like this? I'm not saying that disagreeing with your significant other is not good. Every now and again, sure, that's not anything to really think too hard about, excuse me. But it does get to a point where when you're doing it a lot, and why you're doing it, right? Like, are you doing it to get to a point, or are you doing it because, okay, are you doing it to get to a point, or are you doing it because a person thinks that arguing is fun? And all of this stuff wastes time. You know what I mean? Like, so the things that for you, Taurus, y'all are understanding that you don't want to argue. You don't want things to be where it's like being with them is like, you got to deal with this and you got to deal with that. No, you don't want to deal with that at all. And then you have the Three of Cups and the Page of Swords here for you. So the Three of Cups and the Page of Swords represent, because like I said, things are going fine with you, right? Your family, things are going well. I know you, Taurus. I know a lot of you, Taurus, have had an amazing year, eventful and amazing year. You've gotten a lot of the things that you wanted to get done. My brother's a Taurus. I know a lot of you, Taurus, behind the scenes. Based upon what I've heard from y'all, y'all have had an amazing year. And that's what I was talking about in 2024 when I said that in 2025, y'all are going to have an amazing year. Start off a little bit bumpy, but I predicted that in the last, the yearly overview for 2025. I said, y'all, things may start off a little bit bumpy, but things are most definitely going to be good, more than likely, for 2025. And y'all have had an amazing year. Y'all have a lot to celebrate, says the Three of Cups, right? Well, I know that personally, but also says the Three of Cups, right? And the Page of Swords here represents how, two things. It seems like as if like, things happen for a reason where it just seems like, things popping up, but even when things popping up, you're actually resolving it and you're getting things through. And then not only that too, but also it's a sense in which for you, Taurus, it also represents, the Page of Swords also represents like just, people who are disagreeable with you, who are just adversarial to you. They want to be dysfunctional. You're kind of like, this is kind of the year where it is that you saw a lot of people maybe switch up on you and turn a different kind of way. And you didn't like that. So you decided to leave these people alone, and that you did. You didn't want to have anybody who moves like that around you. So like I said, 2025, I said this in 2024, the later part of 2024. I said 2025 will be a good year for a lot of you, and it will also be a year of discovery. Go back and watch the yearly 2025 reading that I had for y'all. And the King of Wands and the Five of Swords for you, Taurus, also is about how, those are people who are overly confident. So it speaks about like this Page of Swords, King of Wands, Five of Swords. It speaks about how you you have had that in your life, that you got rid of, or you may have that now, where some of you may have someone who essentially is in the way. You know what I'm saying? In the way, who doesn't want to stop being dysfunctional, in the way. Some of you could be getting to know this person. It could be a family member. Because I'm seeing this is fresh based upon the next three cards. I'm seeing this is fresh where, you have this person and you may have gotten to know them fairly recently, and you're not really interested in who they are and what they've got going on. And so the thing about it is that the Five of Wands here represents how, right, like, okay, so some of you Taurus may feel like, okay, I got it. So some of you probably have been in this connection with a person, trying to get to know this person, and you didn't really know what to expect, right? You don't want to argue, you don't want to bicker and fight or any of that. You don't want the adversarial energy coming to you, Taurus. And then you have the Five of Wands, right? Basically, to speed things up, right? Five of Wands. You don't know when an argument will ensue. This person will say all types of wild stuff about you, and it may start up an argument, or they may say certain things wild and out of control, and just like that, just out of nowhere, and it may start something. And you, Taurus, you've gotten rid of them. You got rid of them. You didn't want any of that. Fairly recently is when you, Taurus, decided you didn't want any of that. A lot of you, Taurus, have made the decision that is lame. You know what I mean? Like, you were trying to give them a chance in the first place because you didn't want to just judge this person based upon da 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 da. You legitimately wanted to really give these people a chance. Like I said before, a lot of the times in modern day relationships, people get themselves into relationships and they want a person for really stupid reasons, because the person has money or whatever. And really, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, but really, people should really go after individuals for their character. But it's like, when I say stuff like this, they don't want to listen. But then their way of doing it doesn't work. Because of course not, because it's not a real way to pick someone, right? Like, nobody, like, people don't want to be used, but then other people want to use other people, right? That's the duplicity in it. Nobody wants to be used. Nobody wants to be a pawn. But then at the same time, they want to use and control other people as pawns. That doesn't work. That doesn't make any sense. That's just a cycle of dysfunction. You dig what I'm saying? That's just the wheel of fortune. That's just the you are what you make kind of thing. And so what I'm teaching y'all is that, and y'all are implementing based upon what I can see, you're actually using it. That stupid reason that people pick and choose people, now that you, Taurus, don't have that, you can actually see for yourself if someone is going to work for you, why they work, and if someone is not going to work for you, conversely, why they won't work. Because you're not picking people anymore based upon the things that modern day society pick and choose. Modern day society picks and chooses based upon how much money a person has, these status symbols, right? Because they're not even really status symbols if we're really going to go there. If we're really going to pull up the track and show where the verbs are. But They're really not even status symbols, but this ideology of like, I don't make enough money to date because I don't have a car, right? But the other aspect of it is, but I live in New York. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the concept of people choose people based upon finances, based upon looks, based upon, you know, their friends approving of them, right? Not based upon real metrics, right? Not based upon things that will hold the relationship together, like fidelity, like if the person actually cares about you. Because it's an amazing thing if a person has good character and they're rich. That's a leader, right? Everybody's always talking about their leaders or they want leadership, but they don't know how to lead. All I've ever seen, the majority of my life, for the majority of the times, I've seen some good leaders, but the majority of the times I've seen poor leadership. People who punish in the open, reward in private. People who want to be in the spotlight. They don't know how to check their ego. They got to be out there in front. I'm the face of this. The face puts a mark on you, right? They don't know how to move. And so the thing is that for you, Taurus, right? You understand the way that this person was treating you, this wasn't going to be a good connection. So you know what? The Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, you have more self-respect than that. So you left these people alone because you knew where this connection was going to go. They wasn't going to respect you any more than where they were, than what they were up to. Yes. Now you Taurus got it. You take myself for an example. When I go and look for a lady, I'm looking at her character, right? I'm looking at whom I'm looking, right? I'm looking at what I see versus what I don't see. Or I ain't gonna say versus, but I'll say what I see in addition to what I don't see. So traits about this person's character, not just this person's looks, but traits about this person's character where I could say, is this a wife? Is this a person that I legitimately would want to wife up? Because I have some things, because when it comes to the money, I have some things going for myself. I'm starting to make more money now, but I'm doing right with it. I'm not just out here running amok. I'm being wise with my decisions, paying bills, taking care of family, investing, staying invested. I'm making more money in different ways, venturing off into other things that I want to do that's playful, video games, things. I got other things coming up, da 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 da, right? Being responsible. So it's like, I know I have good character, trying to get better character. So when I go and look, I'm trying to pay attention to see if this person has good character too. Not being a chameleon and showing me things that they want to show me, and then I get fooled, and then I go, okay, let me take this person seriously. Does this person really have good traits? Can they work for themselves? Do they have a mind on them? Right? So something that would have me leave a person is something that happened last night, where I'm getting to know somebody and they ask me what I'm thinking. And then basically, long story short, I tell them that, I used to make a lot of mistakes. I used to really make a lot of unwise decisions. And I was telling them about how I've become proud of who I've become. You know what I mean? Become a lot wiser. And they was like, "You're bumming me out. You're bringing me down." Now, obviously, that's a dub because that's something that a person should celebrate. Then the person goes, oh, well, you just say things and I don't understand or whatever. So what they're trying, and oh, you just say things, you're kind of like weird or whatever the case may be or whatnot. And it's like, so it's safe to say I stepped away from that person because I'm like, yeah, this person's stupid because this was a conception that this person had in their head the whole time because it was well prepared. It was, oh, you bring me down. It's like, what are you talking about? This is the first time that I've ever told you anything this deep. What are you talking about? It's just been small talk for the past whatever, right? Maybe I may catch you every now and again. This is the first time that I really like sat down with you for a few minutes because I've had the time. I've known you for months, but we've never actually like talked like that. Really, and just kind of like, hey, what's up? And what's up? Like quick run-ins. And I'm going this way, you're going that way. Like, what are you doing? Right? So judging based upon the person's character, respectfully, I don't want to be with that. Right? Because I know this person has all kind of narratives in their head, all kind of dysfunctions, all kind of just things that they're coming up with. How can I build generational wealth with a person who thinks like that? I can't. And so a lot of you Taurus are learning that, this person isn't the most pretty person in the world. Person's pretty though. You feel me? Like they're not like when you look at them, you go, it's hard to keep down my lunch. No, 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 no. Person was kind of cute, but at the same time isn't like supermodel. But at the same time, right, it's like, nah, character, right? So you're learning how to see this thing too. That's how you, Taurus, are able to tell who's worth it and who's not. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords. Seven of Raphael, King of Raphael, King of Michael, Four of Ariel, and then you have the World card. So to clarify these Seven of Swords. So you have the Seven of Raphael, King of Raphael, right? And then you have the King of Michael. These three to clarify the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is protection. You know when it's time to get out. You're figuring it out when it's time to get out. It's time to get out when you see things about a person, like what you saw, how this person would do, like what I had said in my example, real life example. This person basically just will come out of nowhere and say certain things to you that is disrespectful. And you, Taurus, are like, this isn't even you. Like, where they talk wild about you. And so the thing is that the Seven of Raphael, the King of Raphael, is the self-respect that you have, because you're not going to sit there and just take that. And you shouldn't have to, right? And you're not going to hold anything against them. You're just not going to sit there and take that, right? Your heart is as light as a feather. And the King of Michael here represents, and it doesn't require all this overthinking that you Taurus used to, right? The ideology of, well, this person did say that they care about me, but they did something that crosses a boundary of mine, right? So the Four of Ariel and the World card here, World card is an amazing card to end the reading on. It's a great thing because the house that you Taurus have built, Four of Ariel, the house that you Taurus have built is one of, you're more upstanding. You have better qualities. You Taurus you have more self-respect. People are not looking at you like the bull that has to be offered. You understand what I'm saying? The bull that gets offered up to the deity. You're the one that doesn't know that you're a side of beef. You understand what I'm saying? If things get wild, they're gonna eat you. You feel what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And so you understand, you're not, you've made yourself valuable enough to understand you're not going to allow yourself to be used like that, you know. People really got to respect you, and that's good because it's opening the world up for you, because you're not going to have to think about what a person meant when they say some nonsense but then they cross a boundary of yours. You're just going to know how to move to stay away from them. It's not something that you like, and you understand why, because you don't deserve it. So that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 29,550 something subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.